Welcome everybody. In today's class we will be learning about the mean, median, mode. Now these three entities are called as the measure of central tendency of the data. Now the key word is central tendency. So what does that mean? It means how exactly the majority is behaving. That is the exact meaning of this. Say for example, you are actually going into a room and you are seeing 1000 people and you are examining the type of shoes that they are wearing. Now upon your observation you will find three parts or three divisions. So there will be a division over here, there will be a huge division, and there will be a smaller division. Now the majority will fall in this category. So what does it mean? It means that the majority would have purchased or would be wearing a specific brand or a type of shoe that you can consider to be the most popular. On the left end there will be brands of shoes that would be coming after this. It wouldn't be forming the majority, but it would be of considerable amount. And then you have the smallest tail there, where a certain brand would be worn by, say if I were to take the distribution, probably 10 people would be sporting that brand. And over here 700 people or probably even 900 people would be sporting this particular brand, and the rest would fall in the first branch or the first part. Now what I'm trying to say here is this mean, median, mode will immediately give us what the majority is doing or how they are performing. So that is the introductory part. Now will mean, median, mode be alone sufficient to understand the behavior of data? The answer is no. Just by taking the mean, median, mode, you will not be outrightly in a position to immediately understand how the data is behaving. That is not going to be happening. But what does the mean, median, mode do? It gives you an overall picture of the behavior of the data, or in other words I would say an approximation. That is what it does. Now with that approximation we would get a decent idea. So we are trying to get a decent idea. Now in most cases mean, median, mode would act in the way I have just mentioned to you. So if you want to be an effective data scientist or a data analyst, what you have to do is you have to, after you have got the mean, median, mode, imagine that you are working in an organization and you are in charge of data analysis, and there are some 10 people working under you, and these 10 people are performing the measure of central tendency, and they are summing up their results and they are giving it to you. Now you cannot outrightly take in their decision as the benchmark. So what you got to do, you will have to go and scrutinize. So having mentioned about the mean, median, mode, it's time now for us to define them. So what exactly does the mean do? As I mentioned to you, mean gives us the measure of the central tendency. Central tendency, I'm just mentioning it as CT. Now this is often quick. You can call it as a snapshot of the overall data set, and mean is also called as the arithmetic mean, or you can use the word average depending on the context. Mean can be influenced by outliers. You will understand all that by outliers. I will explain to you all of these things. So when I talk about outliers, it means high values or low values. So this is about the mean. Let me give you the definition of median. So at times median will provide a better insight when data is skewed. When data is skewed, I'll explain to you what it means. And number two, it is not influenced by outliers. And then it is very useful in understanding the behavior of data, specifically when the data is not evenly distributed. So these are the few characteristics of the median. And then you have the mode. Mode is useful in categorizing data and understanding the most frequented pattern. So this is a very important definition of mode. So you can also use mode in categorical data. I'll explain to you what it means by categorical data. Categorical data mode can be used. So these are some of the basic informations that I would like to give you. I have also attached the notes in the description, so you can see those notes also. Okay, now so much so. Now what I wish to do is I would like to give an illustration of the mean median mode. This is the basic illustration, and then I will gravitate later on in giving you application based illustration. So what I mean by application based illustration, specific scenarios, specific cases where mean median mode are applied. So the first problem, so I'm going to deal with a problem here. So the scenario, the case, now there is a car company or a tourist car rental that has cars to rent. So this is the subject. Now we will take a survey of tourist car rental companies in your locality and find the number of cars they use. So this is the title and this is the study. We will take a survey of tourist car rental companies in your locality and find the number of cars they use for business, right? B stands for business. So we will be working on that. So imagine you are going to company 1 and they have 2 cars. You're going to company 2, they have 3 cars. You're going to company 3, they have 5 cars. You're going to company 4, they have 7 cars. You are going to company 5 and they have 11 cars. So this is the survey that you have conducted. Now the question is, you have to find on an average how many cars a company holds. So this is the survey question. Survey question is, find the number of cars that a tourist car rental company has. So this is the question, find the number of cars that a tourist car company or car rental has. Now the answer to this is going to be given by the mean. So you are going to be giving the average. For that you have a formula. We always say x bar is equal to sigma x divided by n, where n is the number of car companies in this case. See, n is the number of car companies. companies, and sigma x will be the number of, so n is the number of car companies and sigma x is the number of cars. What we are going to do is we will add 2 with 3 with 5 with 7 with 11 and divide by the number of car companies. So in this case it's going to be 5. So x bar is going to be, this is going to give us 28, 18 and 10, 28 divided by 5, that is equal to 5.6. So from this survey I'm going to give the conclusion. On an average, each car company rental as approximately 5.6 cars. Question, is this true? I'm asking you, is this true? A first car company, does it have 5 cars? No. Do they have 5 cars? No. Do they have 5 cars? Around 5 cars? Yes. 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 So clearly you can see the majority, these 3 car companies, on an average, they have got around 5 cars. So when I say 5.6, it means around, it can be around that value. So this gives us an idea. So that means if you want to start a car company, you should, on an average, minimal, you can start with 5 cars. So that is a picture that is actually given. So if somebody were to come to you, you're a consultant, they're asking you that they want to start a car rental company. For any successful car rental company to thrive, they should have between 5 and 6 cars. So that is the basic thing. Okay, so much so for the mean. So of course, the mean has given us a fairly better picture, taking the data into account. Okay, so that is so much so about the mean for now. Now let me go to the median. So I'm going to put the median right over here. Let me draw the line off over here. How the median works. So I'm going to state how the median works here. This is the median. Okay, I hope you're able to get a clear view. Now what we got to do, we have to arrange them in ascending order. Ascending order. That means you start with the smallest value and you move up 2, 3, 5, 7 and 11, and then you pick up that value which is in the middle, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now this is a simpler data set. That when I say simpler data set, it means that it has got odd number of entries. So that means the central value, the middle value that you see, that would be the median value. So in this case, you cut this off, and you chop this simultaneously, you chop this. So this is the median. So the median, what does the median tell you? The median tells you that to start, or I would say in this case, the car companies that are surveyed, they have at least 5 cars. At least. That means 5 and above. And that is the true scenario. If you were to see the data, that is the true scenario. They have got at least 5 cars. The majority. Of course, these 2 people, they are actually, as I mentioned to you, they are falling below the expected median. So that would mean if you want to thrive, you should have at least this to go along. So having mentioned that, mode is the most frequented value. In this case, there is no mode. Now I'm going to give you an illustration where mode comes to play a major role. So in this case, no mode for this data. So I hope you got an idea of the way in which the mean median are calculated, and I will give an illustration where there is a mode that is being present, which has got 15 employees, and we will perform a data analysis on the salaries of these 15 employees that they are drawing per annum, and it is in thousands. So but I will be just quoting the number here. So these are the following salaries of staff members. So 30 means 30,000, 35 means 35,000 per annum. That means for the entire year. 40, 42, 43, 45, 46, 48, 50, 52, 53, 55, 60, 62 and 65. 1, 3, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 15 salaries are there. Now the question is, we are looking to find the mean. So when I talk about mean, this would give us on an average what salary the majority draws. On an average, what salary that the majority draws. So I'm looking for that amount which is given to most employees. So that is the interpretation. Now for that, we use the formula x bar is equal to sigma x divided by n. So sigma x is the sum of all salaries and n is the number of employees, right? So you add up all this. If you add up all this, you get 726,000 divided by number of employees, 15. So that is going to give you 48.4 thousands. So on an average, most of the people are getting around this range, 48. So that is the idea. So is it a good company to join or no? Or what is your inference? So you make your own judgment. So having got the mean, let me go to the median. So median is that central value. So to get the median, what we need to do is we will have to arrange the salary in increasing order. So in this case, the salary is 30, 35, 40, 42, 43, 45, 46, and you have 48 and 50, 52, 53, 55, 60, 62, 65. So what do? We take the central value. So for that, if it is even entries, we have to add them. So but 15 is odd, right? So clearly this would be the middle value. So you strike this, you strike this, 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 strike this. So 48 is the middle value. So median is 48. Now mean and median are very similar. So that means most of the employees are getting 48,000 per annum, per year in this particular company. Okay, fine. As I mentioned to you, that gives an idea of the organization, and that would enable you to make the decision, as I already given you that highlight. Now the most important point here is what would be the situation if the company appoints a CEO whose salary is 260 grand a year. Now these people are getting 30, 35, 40, 42. Now this person is getting 260 grand, right? So that would mean approximately around 4 times, or maybe even 4 times, more than 4 times. So in this case, it is more than 4 times. In this case, in cases like this, say for example, over here, this is the highest pay that an employee is getting, and this 260 is approximately 4 times this amount. So my question now here is, the organization is appointing a CEO with this salary. Now if I were to calculate the mean in a situation like this, then I add 260 and then this would be the new mean. The new mean is going to be 30 plus 35 etc 65 plus 260 divided by 16, and this is going to give me 61.625 thousands. So what is the meaning of this? The meaning of this is most of the employees are getting 61,000 per annum. Is it true? My question is it true? 61,000. Are they getting 61,000? Now you check. This is the central value. Up until now I have not seen any 61,000. No. Over here around 60,000. Over here it's okay. So that means if I were to take this person out of 15, the salary that I am seeing here featured at the mean value is only getting featured at the 14th entry. 14th and 15th entry is 65. So that would mean the employees who are below this, in other words the 13 employees which we are talking, which is the majority of the company, they are not getting around this value. 61,000 is not their annual pay. That's not the package that they are getting. So what exactly does the mean do? The mean is actually misleading. So that is the important point you have to note here. Based on this, you cannot make a judgment. You cannot state that majority of the employees are getting this pay. But let me go to the median. Now if I were to find the median, let me find the median. Now I'm going to place in all the data points. So 30, 35, 40, 42, 43, 45, 46, 48, 50, 52, 53, 55, 60, 62, 65 and 260. I'm placing it here. So I strike this, 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 strike this. So what do I get? I get 48 plus 50. Add them both. You add them both. What do you get? You get this is equal to 49,000. So the conclusion is majority of the people are getting around this. Is it true? Go and locate 49. 49 is over here. When I say 49, it is around this. You take 49 to be the central value. Around this would be the majority. So the median is actually telling us most of the people are actually coming around this. So when it gives you 49, this is not the absolute value that people would be getting. This means people are getting around this. So if you can clearly see the data, 53 is closer to 49, isn't it? 52 is closer to 49, and even 55 is closer to 49, and so are the values that are distributed on the left and right. So the majority are around this. That is why we call it a central tendency. Now, having mentioned that, the median gives us a fairly better picture of this particular scenario. Of course, in this case, when you talk about the mode will not have has got no impact at all in this case. So no mode. Now you might be wondering, what is this? The first example, no mode. Second example, no mode. When will I actually see the presence of mode? You have a shoe company. When I say you, it means you are making actually a study on a certain company. You're performing a study on this shoe company. Now this shoe company tells you that over a 6-day period it had 10 customers and the following shoe sizes were purchased. These are the following shoe sizes that have been purchased. Now from this, the shoe company wants you to tell them which stock they should buy in large amounts, or which shoe size should they stock up. I hope you are catching the question. So there is a shoe company. It is giving you a data for a 6-day period or a 6-day purchase of 10 customers, and the shoe sizes are being given to you. So these are the following information: 6, 7, 7, 8, 8, 8 and 9, 10, 10, 12. So you have 3, 6 and 4. Okay, so 10 customers. The first and foremost thing, you calculate the mean. Mean is sigma x divided by n. You add this information, you divide by 10, you get 8.5. So can I safely conclude that the majority of the shoes that were sold were around this size, 8.5? So that would mean it can be 8 or 9, right? So that is the visualization that you are getting here. Okay, so nothing much in that. It just gives you a decent view. Okay, let me go to the median. So what do we do in the median? We arrange all the items. So 10 items are there. So definitely these two will be the central value. So 16 divided by 2, you are getting 8. So median is giving you 8. So that means most of the people coming here or would ask for this size. Now let me go to the mode. And again, does this actually give you a concrete picture or a concrete analysis? As I mentioned to you, not so. But if you want the picture in situations like this, you have to go to the mode. Now find out the most frequented purchase of size. So in this case, 8 is the mode here. So 3 times size 8 is being purchased. So that would mean the company, the shoe company, should have more size 8 in stocks. So this is the analysis, or this is the inference. So if you're buying 5 of this, 5 of this, 5 of this, you should buy 3 times of this. So that would mean the shoe company will always have size 8 in stocks. So mode gives you a concrete picture, a concrete decision making scenarios in situations like this. So that is the advantage of resorting to mode. So this value that you see here is very significant given the company, a shoe company, and not only that, it is giving us the data. So size 8 is the most commonly bought size, and this decision is absolutely valid. Okay, so having given you that, now let me give you this scenario where the mean, median, and the mode, all of them will fail. Now this is the data for the sales of blender over a 10-day period. On the first day you have one blender sale, second day one, third day one, fourth day one, fifth day one, sixth day one, seventh day one, eighth day one, ninth day one. But on the 10th day you have 1000 blenders being sold. Now the question is, the store manager is actually asked this question. The question is, can you tell us the sales of blender from your organization? So are you in a position to clearly talk about your sales? Now let us try to answer the following question. Question number 1 is the daily sales of the blender good? This is a question. The daily sales of the blender, is it good? And probably the next question would be, this is question 1. Question number 2 is the blender a good one? So sales of the blender. The next question is the blender a good one? And probably if I were to go a little bit further, the first one however gives you the typical sales of the blender a day. The next one you have to say if the blender a good one. When I say talk about good one, is it popular or not? Is the blender popular on a daily basis? Yes or no? And the last question is, can we stock up the product? So these are 3 vital questions. Now if you were to look up to the mode value will give you 1. So that would mean of every day or of the days that we are talking about, you have just one blender being sold. So mode gives you the most frequented value. So in this case, the mode is telling us on any given day over the 10-day period, you have only one blender that is being sold. So is that a good picture of the blender? Does it talk about the reputation of the blender? No, it doesn't give us a good picture based on this data. Because if you were to see the 10th day, in 10th day there is a maximum surge. 1000 blenders are being sold. And going by the mode, a person will have a different idea about the blender, and that idea would be the blender is not a good one. So mode is actually giving us a negative impact or the negative connotation in this case. Okay, moving on. Let me talk about the median. So if you were to go to the median will be the central values. Now in this case, the central values, if you were to arrange them, it definitely fall as 1 plus 1 divided by 2, which will be equal to 1 again. So the median is telling us on an average you have just one blender being sold. Now the question is it a good depiction? I don't think so, because of the fact that on the 10th day you have a maximum surge. Okay, let me go to the mean. I have to add up all these things and I divide it by 10 days. So that is going to give me 100.9. So on an average, 100 blenders are sold every day, around 100 blenders. But is that the right depiction, or is it the situation is correct? Because mean is heavily influenced by this outlier. And because of this, it is giving us a picture that most of the days, on an average, we have got this many number of sales. So my question to you is it okay that we make a judgment based on the mean, median and mode for this case scenario? The conclusion in this case is no. Based on the mean, median, mode, we wouldn't be able to conclude about the reputation of the product and the number of sales that is being moved on. But what we can do is we can look forward or look forth in other statistical measures to get a clear picture what exactly is happening. Now, why do I say clear picture? Now, clearly mode says just one product is moving, and median also confirms with that for a day. Now, if that be the case, why do we keep the shop open for 20 hours or for 18 hours a day, paying electricity charges, paying for the human resources and so on and so forth? So because this one says that every day 100 sales are taking place, because this is also not the right depiction or the right portrayal of the situation that is happening. 100 sales are happening means we need to keep the shop open all the 16 hours of the day, and that is going to be a waste of time. And contrary to the picture given by the mean, we are getting a different picture from the mode. So based on these three things, we are not in a position to exactly give a clear idea, but what we can make is that definitely this product has got some potential. From the mean, I can say that this product has the potential, so there is no harm in stocking it up. But if someone were to ask me about going forward, then I would say we would have to look into other statistical measures. So that would be the conclusion. So that is the reason we got several other statistical measures that would go in deep. For example, if there is the 10th day the sales are picking up, why exactly on the 10th day the sales are picking up? What is the reason? And in a specific time we can perform this study. And as I mentioned to you, why that particular day alone has got this so much of influence. And probably what we can do is we can also offer some discounts and some brochures on this particular day alone, and let the shop function at a minimal capacity for other days. So there are several things that can go forward or that can go into this particular study. So this is a beautiful scenario where the mean and the median and the mode do not give us the exact ground zero situation. Thank you everybody. I hope you enjoyed this session. Until we meet again, enjoy your day.